try to reduce the blue light. Both of this are features that we are telling you we will not be able to go to consumers and show this to them because they will say, what do I do with this? Right? Because this is not a tangible thing that they can see with their eyes. But this is something that we hope other smartphones, other brands also adopt, because I believe in the next 2 to 3 years this should be a standard across all smartphones regardless of the price range, because this saves your eyes when you use it for such a long time. So we believe this is something that more and more brands should adopt and should be a standard. So we've also received certifications for this, the 20,000 levels of automatic brightness for good power efficiency and good viewing as well. Coming to the main part that sits on the back of the phone in that huge circle, and that is the 200 megapixel Sony Samsung ISOCELL HP3. Now this sensor is a very interesting sensor. Apart from all the technology that it has and everything that it gives, this is a sensor that is developed in India. This is a sensor that was developed at the R&D center in Bangalore. In fact, we recently had a Samsung X Realme event in Delhi, where the Samsung team, the India team that developed this sensor, came to the event, and we had a session with media there. And the Samsung team actually took through the development of the sensor and how we came up with this, what features it has. But it's a thing to be proud of, that this is a sensor developed in India. Not only we use it, but there are smartphones globally that use this particular sensor, apart from us as well, I mean other brands. So that's a great thing about this sensor. Huge sensor size. Anyone who's in photography knows more sensor size means more area for light to come in. More light to come in means more details to work on in post, even for the processing of the camera. So compared to the last generation, a larger sensor size. Super OIS. So of course OIS is optical image stabilization, but when we implemented OIS the last time, we had 2-axis OIS, right, where it compensates for your shake up and down and left and right. This time we have a 4-axis OIS, which means it can compensate for a lot more angles, a lot more shake. And how this helps is, mainly everyone believes that OIS is better for videos, and it is. It does help with videos and smooth videos. But where OIS really shines is low light photography. Whenever you have, you need more light coming in, you do larger sensor size, more light coming in, but then there are night scenarios, low light scenarios where you just do not have enough light. So what photographers do for that is that they put a tripod, they put the camera on top, and they slow down the shutter speed and take a long exposure shot. Now the thing about long exposure shot is, if there is movement, then your entire shot is gone, right? That is what Super OIS helps with. So when you're holding your phone and you're trying to take a long exposure shot, it will compensate for the small shakes that happen, which means that you'll have exceptional night photography, which gets incredibly improved on the Realme 11 Pro Plus. Finally, using the 200 megapixel sensor for something called the super zoom camera. Now, when it comes to smartphones in the budget segment, or the mid-premium segment, I mean, these are smartphones that are under 30,000 rupees, and there are limitations for what you can put in smartphones in this range, because you have to control the costs. Telephoto lenses are something that are not available in this category. Where if you have a phone that is packed with all the things that Realme 11 Pro Plus is packed with, it is almost impossible to put a telephoto lens, because it's more expensive. It's also made in less volumes. Hence, putting a telephoto lens was out of the question. But of course, we wanted to make sure that customers have the experience of a telephoto lens. How do we do that? So we've done something called in-sensor zoom. This is the first smartphone in the world that has up to 4x in-sensor zoom. Now, I don't know if you've ever come across something called in-sensor zoom, and it will at first glance seem like a fancy marketing term that marketing geniuses have put to dupe customers. But we actually do something very interesting with this. This is the Samsung ISOCELL HP3, the entire sensor, 200 million pixels resolution. Now, what we do with the Realme 11 Pro Plus, and this is between Realme 11 Pro Plus and Samsung team, we've developed, and hence this is the world's first with 4x in sensor zoom. What we do is, since we have so many pixels to work with, We crop into the sensor at the sensor level before the picture is taken. So let's say you're taking a 2x picture. It will zoom in 2x, but it will also use only this part of the sensor. The rest of it will not be used. When you do 2x, you will have essentially a 50 megapixel sensor, but with full 50 megapixels of resolution already at a 2x zoom. Similarly, if you do 4x zoom, it will crop in a bit more, use only 12.5 million pixels of the entire 200 megapixel, but give you full 12.5 megapixel resolution without any crop. What happens in that case is that the loss is almost unnoticeable. So you can have shots like this without the loss that you generally get from digital zoom. And don't take me at my word. Please take the smartphones. Please go out, shoot, and see how it performs. So you can take multiple, for customers basically, of course, they can take multiple perspectives. Here is a perspective, that's a different perspective. Basically, we are allowing users to have the telephoto experience without actually putting in a physical optical lens that would take the price of the phone about 40,000, 50,000, whatever. We've also added 2x in portrait mode because when it comes to portrait pictures, everyone just focuses on the background bokeh. But if you've ever seen a photographer take a portrait shot, they always use a telephoto lens for it because the face composition is very important as well, apart from the zoom, apart from the background blur. So we have added 2x to the portrait mode, certainly helps get the right kind of composition. So you have a smartphone that can do 1x, 2x, 4x, lossless zoom, giving you multiple perspectives. We also have moon mode. This uses super OIS, this uses long exposure shot, of course, this uses the zoom that we have, the 200 million pixels, and this also uses our own AI algorithms. See, one of the things about the moon is that we are geo-logged with the moon. So the face, we say dark side of the moon, there's an album by Pink Floyd. So dark side of the moon means that the side that we see remains pretty much the same. Hence, with all that information put together for the very first time under 30,000 rupees, and all this, when I tell you the starting price of it, at that particular starting price, there are people now who can take moon shots with their smartphones. We've also collaborated with Lonely Planet. Lonely Planet is one of the most recognizable travel magazines in the world. We've added filters. We've added a watermark with Realme. Oh, the resolution is lost. But Realme 11 Pro Plus and Lonely Planet is what this says. Also, we have announced a competition that started on the 8th of June, right? 8th of June. And this particular competition is for photographers all over the world, including India. Realme fans, Realme users, smartphone users, who can, of course, take part, submit their pictures. There will be a list of judges, world-renowned photographers judging the particular competition, and of course the winners will have opportunities, not just prizes. See, we don't believe in just giving a gift and then be done with it. We always believe that giving opportunities, they say, give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, teach a man how to fish, right? They'll get fed for the rest of their lives. So that's the point. In Realme, what we did last time also I mentioned this, we work very closely with creator community. We work very closely with photographers because, again, 5 years, 10 years ago, if you wanted to be a photographer, your passion enough wasn't all you needed. You needed to spend money on a big camera equipment. You needed to know how to push the right buttons, what all these things do, how the camera works, what mode to put. A smartphone makes it very accessible, not just because it's less expensive, but also because it's easier to use. In fact, Realme, if you go to Realme India's Instagram page, more than our own posts officially that we post, you will see more pictures, in fact almost 70% plus pictures that are photos clicked by our customers using our phones. And there are almost 100, 200 photographers who have actually taken up professional photography after being part of Realme creator community, and we ourselves work with them. We have events where they come on as professional photographers for us. In fact, she's Jenny, she's a team member in Realme. She will tell you we have 2 people working in Realme as part of the Realme team. Shubh and Anuj, who were part of Realme creator community about 1 year ago, but now they're employees of the company and they help us with camera, photography, whatever content that we put out. So we constantly try to give opportunities to work, not just give gifts, give awards, give a plaque, and then say bye-bye. So that is again a competition here. We have a Sony sensor at front, IMX615. Yeah, and that covers it for the camera. So I mean the attempt is bring a flagship camera experience at a non-flagship price. Dimensity 7050, this is a chipset that we are using. This actually is based on the same architecture that the Dimensity 920 is, if anyone is into chipsets. The Dimensity 920, then came the Dimensity 1080, and now comes the Dimensity 7050. And the advantage of using the same architecture is that the optimization is extremely high. And what we want to achieve with this particular smartphone and this chipset is not extremely high-end gaming. In fact, we are not targeting gamers. This is a smartphone that will give you reliable performance, will not heat up, and will give you consistent performances without much higher peaks or much lower drops. Up to 256 gigs of RAM, especially in the 11 Pro Plus, that the device we're talking about. This time, both devices, they're not just upgrades in processor, camera, design, but storage and RAM. This time we've kept it very high. In fact, both these devices start with 8GB RAM as the base model, and 11 Pro Plus only has 256GB variant. There is nothing lower. And of course, the 11 Pro has one 128GB RAM variant, a 120GB storage variant. Rest is all 256GB. 5000 mAh battery, and charging. I mean, Realme's name is synonymous with charging. Since the beginning, we've brought very powerful chargers to our customers, and of course, also brought faster charging times to them. So 100 watts of charging this time compared to 67 watts that we had last time on the 10 Pro Plus. And yeah, that covers it for the device. Apart from that, we have Dolby Atmos, dual speakers, of course, 10-bit display, HDR10 Plus, so great for multimedia as well. We also have this TOV 48-month fluency rating. This is a test from TOV Rheinland, the German company, and what happens in this particular testing is it basically tests for the longevity of components. So in this case, the cameras, the haptic motor inside, the battery, any components on the PCB, and especially the external components as well. If the leather peels off, if the threading comes out, or if the plating gets removed. And this is not an actual 48-month rating. It's not like we started testing this device 4 years ago. But this is a simulated testing where the device is put through multiple temperatures, multiple environments. There's physical tests as well on the device to make sure that it lasts, and we got the level A rating on the TOV Rheinland SUD 48-month test. Now coming to 11 Pro. We were here, I don't remember if we talked about the 10 Pro last time we were here, but the 10 Pro is a device which is technically the previous device for this by its name, by the nomenclature, that had an LCD display. It was a flat design. There was no curved display on it. It was LCD as well. There was 30 watts of charging. There's a 695 Snapdragon 695 and lower end processor compared to this. This time what we did is, because the curved display is so popular, the 11 Pro has also been upgraded. In fact, the 11 Pro not just upgraded over the 10 Pro, but the 10 Pro Plus, what was the higher end device, the 11 Pro has more features even than the 10 Pro Plus. So it has the same design as the 11 Pro Plus, the same 3 color options, the same display with everything that I mentioned, the same chipset, same tests that it has gone through as well. The three primary differences actually. One is the camera. The primary camera is 100 megapixels. It also has optical image stabilization. So there was, before this, no Pro device had a OIS camera. So we bring OIS. We also bring 67 watts of charging. The 10 Pro had 33 watt. We bring 67 watt here. And what else? Yes, front camera. The 11 Pro has a 16 megapixel front camera. The 11 Pro Plus has a 32 megapixel front camera. And yeah, that's about it for the two devices. Now we also have Realme Care. So Realme Care is of course Realme's service product. So we have extended warranty, screen damage protection, accidental protection, and users can also avail for this particular device, plus 6 months of screen damage protection plan. Prices. So, actually, before I show you the prices, Realme 10 Pro Plus, right? I just want to set context. Realme 10 Pro Plus was the device that we had launched 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and it started with 6 GB RAM, 128 GB storage, and was priced at 24,999. Now, in this product, the 11 Pro, we have upgraded design, as you can see. We've upgraded the camera to an OIS camera. We've upgraded charging 67 watt. And we've also upgraded the storage variant and the RAM variant. So now the 11 Pro starts at 8 GB RAM. So we've improved the RAM as well. But we reduced the price. So from last year's product, which is the 10 Pro Plus, the price has been reduced by 1,000 rupees. The features have been improved, and especially the RAM variant. This was 6 gigs of RAM at 24,999. This is 8 gigs of RAM at 23,999. And these are all MOP or market operating prices. These are not prices after the offer. This is the price that you will get. And on top of this, you will have the offers that are mentioned. So 8 GB RAM, 256 GB model goes for 24,999. So 7 months ago, when you got 6 GB and 128 GB model for 24,999, now you get an 8 GB, 256 GB model with the upgrades for 24,999. And the higher end 12 GB 256 GB for 27,999. 11 Pro Plus with 200 megapixel OIS camera, wide angle camera, 32 megapixel front, Sony camera, 100 watts of charging, and I mean everything else that I've talked about. 27,999 for 8256 and 29,999 for 12,256. I mean, to set context, when we showed these devices to people, when we even had the Samsung event and people saw the devices, we had asked for expectations from the media, from journalists as well. And the expectation was that the 11 Pro Plus for sure would go above 30,000 and maybe hit somewhere around 35,000, 36,000 rupees. But all these devices are under 30,000 rupees, starting at 23,999, on top of 23,999. If you have an SBI card, HDFC card, or ICICI bank card, you have offers. There's up to 1,500 of offers. There's 1,500 instant discount, and on this product, 2,000 discount. Again, SBI, HDFC, and ICICI bank cards. Now, availability: 11 Pro and 11 Pro Plus. Both the devices will be available online and offline on 15th of June, which is today or tomorrow? Today? Okay, today. So, today's 15th. So today we have the first sale. Is it 12 already? Okay, so we should already have the sales going on. So today, both these devices will be available offline, whereas this device, 11 Pro, the 11 Pro will be available online tomorrow. The 11 Pro Plus is available online today as well. Now, why you don't see the green color here is that the 11 Pro's green color is not here yet. So first sale we will not have the green color, but eventually the green color on the 11 Pro will also arrive. So yeah, that covers it for the devices today. I hope you like the devices, and I'm guessing you have questions, so this is the time for it. Yes, please.
What will be the warranty part of it?
What will be the?
Warranty.
So warranty is 1 year, and then Realme Care you can extend your warranty in whatever you need to. That is the standard warranty. Oh, I also didn't mention for software updates. So we have Android 13 and Realme Y4. You will get 2 years of Android OS updates and 3 years of security updates on both these devices. And that is standard practice for Realme. So,
is this water resistant?
So we don't have a water resistance rating. It's a very complex question to, not too complex actually. It's a tricky question to answer because we don't have a certification on this. But if you open the device, all the ports have a rubber cascading on it, which means that water will not get in. That being said, the water rating in the smartphone industry, or I think the consumer electronics industry, is a tricky concept because let's say I have an IP rating. Okay, today I say I have IPX4, and then you buy the smartphone, and then water gets in. If water gets in, for me the device is out of warranty. If you go to any smartphone that is offering you IP rating as well, if water does get in, the phone goes out of warranty. So the only thing that IP rating does on a smartphone is promote users to not worry about water too much. Eventually the devices go out of warranty if water gets in. So So we do protect the devices. So small spills, splashes in the rain, the phone will be protected. But of course, if you wash your hands and your phone together, unforeseen things are.
No, actually, why I asked this question, because I don't want to name the brand. It's one of the premium brand, as you mentioned. They just dropped the phone inside a bowl, water bowl, and they said that this is water resistant.
Right.
So that's why I asked you.
Brands have been doing that for many years. But again, whatever brand that is, it doesn't matter.
I'm not naming that.
No, it doesn't matter. But do check that if I damage the phone with water, will you still give me warranty or not? Which I am 100% sure they will not.
5,000 megawatts battery is sufficient for this phone.
Sorry?
5,000 megawatts battery is sufficient for this phone.
I'm more than sufficient. You can go for more. So that is where the chipset comes in, right? The chipset plays a very essential part in power efficiency. How much does the same chipset take to perform the same operation? Different chipsets take different amounts of power for it. The 7050 is a very well optimized chipset, and at this stage it is the most mature in the architecture that it is. So that the 5000 mAh is there. In fact, if you look at the market, most premium phones, for all intents and purposes, I will call this a premium phone. The only thing about this that is not premium is the price. Right? Now, for a premium phone, most smartphones are offering 4500, 4800 mAh batteries. We have 5000 mAh. Also, we have been able to achieve the thickness, very less thickness for the same 5000 mAh battery. For your question, yes, I think 5000 mAh is more than enough.
Sir, as you said that the media is a part. No, मेरा
Yeah, please.
अरे गला है.
नहीं, मैं माइक नहीं मार रहा हूँ, ये दे रहा हूँ।
So the thing is, as you said, that the media is a part, or the media is a bridge between public and you guys, right? There are some people, there are some publics which we made after the Realme last program.
Right.
They are saying that the Realme is using Realme is a pocket bomb. Will you say that Realme 11 Pro will save their pockets or will save their lives because it burst out?
See, it will not save anyone's life technically unless their entire life is based on a smartphone. But to say that
because kids are using smartphones more
Yes,
than us.
Of course.
So if it bursts on their front, then their face will be get burned out.
No, of course. It's a big danger for anything that has a battery.
Right.
Right. From a phone to an earphone to a watch. Anything that has a battery. And today we use lithium-ion or lithium polymer batteries. These are electrolytic batteries, and all batteries technically, unless we go to a different type
What
of
will be
battery.
our message to those subscribers of
Okay, first of all, I want to just clarify the question. Is it that they said that Realme smartphones specifically are pocket bombs, or smartphones are pocket bombs?
They have said that Realme smartphone because they are the users of Realme.
Okay, and their smartphones have blasted.
Right.
Okay, that's interesting. But I personally take care of all the blast cases that come into Realme, and when we look at the smartphone market, the numbers are quite standard across, right? And whenever we get a case, our standard operating procedure is to contact the customer and try to understand, take the smartphone, analyze what has happened. There have been, we can't verify one single case where there was not an external reason for it. See, the thing is, most of the cases we have seen there is external force on the particular smartphone. There have been people who've put screwdrivers through the smartphone, right? Second thing that generally happens if you're not using an original charger or cable or both, right? You could be using the original charger but not the original cable, or you could be using the original cable but not the charger. Again, every time we've specified the smartphones, we test the smartphones for all of these things. We have over voltage charging, over current, anything that a smartphone has to go through, and these companies like TOV Rhineland, they test products across the board from Samsung to Apple to any brand that you can name. So if they give us a certification for safety, it is a certification that goes across the board. So, if someone says that smartphones have that, smartphones in general have that possibility, yes, if you do not use the rated components, if you do not use the rated charger, and you don't use it the right way, if you keep your phone in heated environments for a very long time, extremely long time, not normal times, but extremely long times, the battery has a tendency to swell up. Again, all these issues can happen, but I do believe that the industry can work more on this. That being said, see, we work on as much as we can. The other thing that we can assume is that we can expect is that battery technology should change, right? Forget smartphones. I mean, if smartphone is a pocket bomb, your EV car is an atom bomb.
Chaturthi.
You are like your entire family sitting
Do you
on
think
it.
that Realme is available in Kolkata, but
Yes.
the Realme is not available in the parts of Bengal?
Okay.
As per my knowledge goes,
Okay.
that I have seen different parts in Southeast Pargana, because every journalist is going to these corners because now the political reasons are there,
Mhm.
but they are